and welcome to your full moon video for the full moon in Pushya Nakshatra on the 12th of January 2017. The exactitude of the full moon will take place at about 11:33 a.m. That's UK time. Obviously, you can go online and find out what time that is in your particular time zone. I want to talk to you today about those deep feelings, right? Whatever those deep feelings might be. Sometimes those deep feelings are anger. Sometimes those deep feelings are happiness. Sometimes those deep feelings are sadness, right? And every single thing that exists under creation is spiritual, right? Anger is spiritual. Sadness is spiritual. Frustration is spiritual. They all serve a purpose, right? Anger, when we have anger, well, anger is a good motivator, right? Sadness, well, sadness helps us to cleanse, doesn't it, right? Frustration, what purpose does frustration serve? Well, a similar purpose to anger. It helps us to change something or to accept something. That's another thing that frustration is good for. It's a good motivator to accept the things that we can't change, and if it's something that we can change, to take appropriate action in order to change it. And that's a good point for us to start talking today, because with this particular full moon, there's a very deep tonality of energy that speaks about something that you believe in, and something that you believe in very, very strongly, right? Only thing is, things aren't working out in association with that, right? You're wanting a change in relation to something that you deeply believe in, but those changes are not working out, either not as quickly as you would like for them to, or not working out at all, or not working out in the manner that you thought they were going to work out. And, you know, let's face it, that's something that can be highly, highly frustrating, right? And sometimes we get in these positions where we're forced to accept certain limitations. Things just are the way that they are, right? And actually, sometimes accepting those limitations, making a sacrifice, actually makes things work out better than our limited minds could see that they would actually turn out. And there's a very big, again, I like using the word tonality of energy in relation to just such a thing going on in each of our lives. Where is that happening in your life? Well, that's going to be in various areas, dependent upon where the full moon is falling, what it's aspecting, all sorts of different things. To understand that, I would have to look at your personal birth chart. And either at the beginning of this video or at the end of this video, there's a link that will take you to my astrological services page if you would like to do that. But let's talk about some of the aspects that are going on beneath the surface with this particular full moon. But before we do that, let's talk a little bit about Pushya Nakshatra. Each of the nakshatras has what is called a Shakti, or an energy, or a power. It's a power given to us by the universe to grow our consciousness along a particular line. And the Shakti that's associated with Pushya Nakshatra is the power to create spiritual energy, right? So there's a lot of symbolism associated with sacrifice with Pushya Nakshatra. Pushya is associated with Brihaspati, who's the priest of the gods, right? So the concept is that with sacrifice, we create spiritual energy. If we accept the limitations which are necessary for our evolution, then we create something deeply spiritual. And one of the symbols that I have seen used for Pushya Nakshatra is a symbol similar to the sun, which is a circle with a dot in the middle of it. That dot is the individual consciousness. The circle is what surrounds that individual, the boundaries that they have to work within this particular lifetime. And sometimes we're required to accept limitations so that we can grow and so that we can expand. But bubbling beneath the surface with this particular full moon energy are aspects between Jupiter and the sun, a conjunction between Venus and Mars, and an aspect from Mars to Jupiter. Let's talk a little bit about each of these. So first of all, we've got the Sun in Uttara Ashadha Nakshatra. And because of the Sun's position, Uttara Ashadha Nakshatra, when the Sun isn't well disposed in the sky, then there's a tendency to push up against the boundaries, to push really strongly for something. The Sun in its aspect with Jupiter, which is in Chitra Nakshatra. Chitra Nakshatra is related, loosely speaking, to our ethics, what drives us in our heart, what we think that we want, and why we think that we want it. With these two particular energies, there's the tendency to push up against the boundaries for something that we really feel that we need in our life. Now, we've got Venus in Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra and Mars in Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra, both ruled by Jupiter in terms of the Nakshatra Lord. And you've got Jupiter in Chitra, which is Mars's Nakshatra. Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra tends to elevate and escalate everything that comes into contact with it, right? And due to the position of Jupiter in the sky, what is getting created is a great level of passion for something that you really truly believe in and something that you're wanting to take action for. But here's the warning, and here's the thing that you have to watch out for, which is sometimes when you're frustrated or upset about something, especially when that frustration is being driven by something that you very, very deeply believe should come into being, well, you may not be seeing things as clearly as you should. Because when we really, really want something, sometimes we have a very deep level of attachment to things working out in that very particular way. And hey, maybe things aren't supposed to work out in that way, right? Maybe it's not helpful for things to work out in that way. Maybe if things worked out in that way, you wouldn't be happy with the set of circumstances, but you think you would. You think you would right now, and because you think you would, you're wanting to take action to make that happen. And you're coming up against resistance, and it's not working out, right? And because it's not working out, you're pushing even harder. But maybe in essence, there's something that you need to accept, something that you need to take a look at, something that perhaps, whilst it's okay to get riled up about it because you're riled up and you can't just deny your feelings, right? So while it's okay to get riled up about it, maybe you need to get that getting riled up out of your system and look at what you've got going on and see if you can somehow, well, accept a better way forward than the way which is bubbling beneath the surface, you know, I'm going to say right here in your gut, right? You're feeling it right there. And then that's spilling up into your heart, right? And if this gets all too intense right here, then it comes up here. And the next thing you know, you're coming out with stuff that you really shouldn't be coming out with, right? So how to handle that, right? Well, move it. Just let it move. Let it move. But then, once that has moved, listen to what's here. In the silence after it's moved, listen to what's here. And you're likely going to discover that something that you thought you wanted, something that you thought that you needed, is actually something that you maybe don't need at all. And if it is something that you need, maybe now isn't the right time. So the key to this particular full moon cycle is acceptance. Accepting those limitations and understanding that those limitations are there to nourish your future. As I mentioned, I have a vast range of astrological services that I offer through my website. If you'd like to understand a little bit more about how this full moon is influencing you, or even anything else in general, please feel free to schedule an astrological consultation with me. You can do so through the link below on this video. That's going to do it for your full moon in Pushya Nakshatra video for the 12th of January 2017. Until next time, please do take the very best care of yourself. Bye now.